Welcome to Free Training Friday with Robert and myself. We're going to be talking about personalizations today, and they are an incredibly powerful, effective tool within Commerce7, and not nearly enough wineries are using them. They are super cool, so we wanted to highlight them, talk about some of the common uses, as well as some that are a little bit out there and more creative. So we think that anyone, no matter where you are in your personalization journey, we think that you'll get something out of this. So let's get started. So just today, we're going to talk about what are personalizations. For those of you who don't know, why are they important? Why should we be paying attention to them? Going to talk about a case study that our own Margaret did a while ago with Barchier Bros. And then we're going to look at some examples, some real world examples within Commerce7. So what are they? They're simply a way to show dynamic content to your customers based on their unique relationship with your brand. Perfect examples are Amazon, Netflix, Spotify. I'm sure all of us have at least one of these or know of them. And you know that when you log in as yourself, you are getting a completely different recommended page than, say, your, like for me, very different recommendeds from me from my 17-year-old daughter. So on any of these apps. And so that's all we're talking about. It's basically who is signing in and then taking a look at who that person is to your brand, whether they are an anonymous person, they've never been there before, whether they're a club member, whether they are someone that has purchased once or multiple times. All of these things, it's great to be able to meet them where they are in their buying journey, so that then you can effectively communicate with them and make them feel special and make them want to come back and feel connected to you guys. Anything else on that, Robert? I see you nodding your head.
Yeah, you're honestly hitting everything, why they're so important, right? And again, we love to really continue that tasting room journey online. And this is how you do that, right? You really get to reward your high value customers for whatever reason that is. Maybe they are, a longtime customer with a high LTV, and you really want to show them online that you really do, as much in the tasting room, share that same experience online for them as a customer, where they're getting content that feels relevant to them, product selections that feel relevant to them, maybe exclusive offers that are only going to be available to them. You can tag, allocation, we'll get into all that fun stuff, but exactly what Brittany's saying, for us more than ever, when we're online, we want to feel like what we're consuming is relevant to us. So that's how you do this.
Absolutely. So just a few stats to underscore the importance of this. First of all, number one, it is a better consumer experience. It's a better customer experience. As again, we all know, we like it when it's customized to us. And so 71% of consumers express a level of frustration when their online experience is not personalized. So if you take this into, for instance, I mean, we're talking about online here, but if you kind of take it into, say, the tasting room, and you have, if I'm a person that's coming into the tasting room, I'm a local, and I come in there a couple times a month because I feel this big connection to the tasting room. I bring my friends, I bring my family. The folks behind the bar know who I am. They greet me usually by name. They know what varietals I love and pour that for me. I feel really good about that. But what if then I went in and the folks behind the bar all of a sudden didn't know who I was, treated me as though, I was just a regular person that had never been there before? It wouldn't feel as nice. It wouldn't feel like I have that connection. So just kind of thinking about that in an online scenario as well, or context, is good to think about it.
I agree, Brittany. And I wanted to, I just wanted to add one thing there. No, I wanted to say, and almost on the flip side, right, for an anonymous customer, you maybe would want to talk to those people differently, right? Because at least for me, when I go to a new winery or a new restaurant, you want to know a little bit more about the brand, right? So understanding who you're talking to in that moment. Sorry that you perfectly hit it. I just wanted to add that it might be a different conversation with somebody who's getting to know your brand for the first time as well.
Absolutely. Number two, you will very likely see an increase in conversion rates. We see almost 17 times more add to cart clicks when a personalization is involved, when a personalized suggestion has been made. Likewise, 49% have purchased a product based on a personalized recommendation. I can think about this. I have my favorite makeup, and they definitely personalize that experience for me. So when I go online and I'm signed in, they know what I've purchased in the past. They know my skin type. They know everything about me. So they are serving up these things that they know that I will be very interested in and likely to add to my cart because I trust what they have given me in the past. So it's very much the same kind of experience for the winery space. And then number 3, turning first-time consumers into repeat buyers. So 44% of consumers say that they'll become a repeat buyer after a personalized shopping experience. And this becomes really important because there's data that supports that once you hook that person into a second purchase, then exponentially with each purchase after that, they become more likely to be retained as a long-term buyer. So this is that second purchase is especially important, and so we'll talk about that as well. So Margaret did perform this great case study that is available. We'll include it, a link to it when we send a follow-up email for this webinar, but it is in our docs. So it's a great case study with Bartier Bros, where they were having a couple of challenges. The challenges were difficulty marketing to specific customers on the web, different, like Robert was just saying, it's excuse me, a person who's never been there before versus a high lifetime value person. You want to make sure that you're talking to those people differently so that you are eliciting, making it more relevant for each of those audiences. And the second one, which I found very interesting, was they were experiencing a lot of duplicate club member purchases during club package times because those club members would hit the homepage and they didn't quite realize they were supposed to go over here so that they could actually access their package and make changes to it, and et cetera, et cetera. So they were creating orders thinking that that's what they were supposed to do. They were a little confused. So personalizations to the rescue. So basically the results were that they had an increase, again, those add to cart clicks, increase in recommended product purchases. So the products that they were recommending in these personalizations were actually getting added to the cart and purchased. They had a drastic decrease in these accidental club orders, because what you can do with personalizations for club members specifically is that when they hit that homepage, right there, right in front of them, is their package and all of the information about customizing it. And, oh, do you need to edit your address or whatever it might be? It's right there for them upon logging in. So it's really, really intuitive. It's great. And then again, as Robert was mentioning, just differentiating the customer experience based on who the audience is. So how did Bartier Bros do it? Well, they implemented multiple personalization blocks for a variety of customer types. So again, based on who the people are. And we'll briefly look at what this looked like. So here we are, first-time customer. This is a person who has, oh, you know what? This is actually, this is a typo. This is first-time customer actually is someone who has purchased once. They've purchased one time. And so basically, you know what, Robert, sometimes
It's okay. I was going to say, let's think of it from a more high level view, right? When we're really thinking about that journey, Brett. And if you want to click through, it's okay. So, for example, right, what I was kind of touching on, you visit the website for the first time, or you visit the winery for the first time. You might want a bit of history, right, on the brand. So, here is where you maybe give that, hey, we're from this location, come visit us, get to know us, read more about us, right? Our history and how we were started, right? So, that kind of messaging might not be as relevant to a club member, right? Like you were saying, Brittany, they want to see their shipment, they want to log in and be able to make those edits. So what they've done here, and if you want to skip over to the next slide, Britt.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
this up here is obviously not accurate. What this is someone who is brand new. They're brand new to the brand, and you're wanting to say, hey, welcome. This is kind of what we're about. The next one is this is going to be, I have sorry guys, we'll talk more about this in in the documentation and further in this webinar. I will have this information correct up here. Sorry about that. So this one, we're like, hey, we are happy that you came here and purchased. You've purchased one time. Again, this would be the first time customer. That would be the nomenclature we'd be using here. So you've purchased one time. We hope you enjoyed it, and we really encourage you to purchase again. And a lot of times you might want to include, say, a coupon so that you can encourage that second purchase. And here we go. This is our our repeat customer. This is someone who has created these multiple purchases, and now it's time to upsell them. If you have a club, it's time to, hey, you like our wine.
Yes.
Come on in. We want you to join, and look at all these cool benefits that you get for joining. And then once you are a club member, you want to make those club members feel special. And also, as Robert was just saying, is that's also where you can just include that member or all of the membership information as well as that upcoming shipment. You can talk about, have all that down there so that all they have to do is click right from there.
Correct.
Anything else? Sorry, I got all of those headings wrong.
It's all good. I think it's still showing that journey, Brittany, which is what we're going to show in the framework of when the personalizations are actually set up. We're going to talk more on that. So I think that's completely fine. I think it's just, again, really, I love the word bespoke. It's perfect, right? You're giving that tailored experience to that specific customer type. So,
yep, perfect. Exactly. So how do we implement them?
Can I say, Brittany, I think this is a big mystery, number one. I mean, from the support perspective, we get it all the time. This sounds complicated. It's scary. It's a lot of work. How much money is this going to cost me? These are the big questions, right? And we really want to today kind of just show you as simply as we can, because we'll preface it by saying, I'm not a web designer. Brittany, I mean, I know you have a bit of experience, but we're not web designers. So from our perspective, we're going to go a little further and show you a little more about what the designer needs to do. But I just want to say, we cannot tell you how much it's going to cost. We can't say the time frame because it really will depend on that designer's expertise. Number one, how custom and the coding of your website, like these are all going to be factors. So let's go on to the next one.
Oh, well, let me just pop in too. So there are basically two main parts to it. One is that your designer does need to, and it is one line of code, but having said that, again, depending on the complexity of your specific site, there may be some other things that your designer needs to address that would make it completely to the way that you want it to be displayed, et cetera, et cetera. But at its essence, it is a very simple thing designer wise to be able to just, you take the code from Commerce7 and then implement it. Just that piece of it is very simple, but again, it is dependent on complexity. And then the second part of that is to create the content within those personalization blocks. Once your designer has created those blocks, again, very simple, we'll show you how to do that. Then you go in and then you are able to change those blocks out, change the content of those blocks at any time. If it's not like your designer has to come in every time you're like, oh, I'm doing a new, I want to feature something else for my club members. I want to talk about an upcoming event instead of maybe we're in between packages. Fine, you don't need your designer to do that. They've already created the block. now all you need to do is go in and make those changes very easily within Commerce7. And again, we'll show you how to do that. So we're going to talk about a few that we, if you're new to personalizations, what's cool is that you can kind of take the buyer's journey as your guide. So basically you kind of start, okay, again, the anonymous visitor, how do you want to talk to them? How do you want to talk to those first-time purchasers who have only purchased one time? What about those repeat purchasers, and get them into the club and your club member? And then there's a fun one that I like to do, which is the birthday one. So I'll show you that one as well.
Love it.
And I think we're set to, excuse me, to head into Commerce7.
Perfect.
So I'm going to hop over here. And you see my dashboard?
I see it perfectly. Yeah.
Awesome. So here we are in the dashboard. So again, I like I said, we have like two steps here. One is that your developer will be going under developer and into personalizations, and they will add that personalization block. Once they do that, they'll title it. There'll be a code associated. Here are docs that they can reference at any time. And again, these are also just on our main knowledge base. You can just type in personalizations. You'll see the designer doc. They can access that. Robert, did you want me to pop into this real quick?
Yeah, let's just show them. I really thought it would be cool for us to just show you guys. And so actually, and quick shout out to you, Brittany. I'm pretty sure you've revamped a lot of this documentation in preparation for this Free Training Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I definitely have. The designer one I haven't touched on a whole lot, only because I mean, it's still up to date. It just hasn't gotten the video treatment that my others have at this point. But this is what the designers would be accessing. So this talks all about, step by step what they need to do. And then once they get it set up, then they can go here. And this is where, again, not something that you guys would need to be looking at. This is all, in designer verse, but we just wanted to kind of point out that this is where they would be going.
So like a great example will be the homepage one, Brittany, that line of code, right? It's going to get taken by the designer after they've determined the placement on your website. They've done all of their fun stuff on their end. They're going to take this HTML and they're going to place it in your website files. And what will be matched up is where it says data block code equals homepage. Right. You can, I think we're good on this one. If you wanted to, we could show them in the developer tab. Would that be cool to show them in developer and Commerce7?
Yep. So do you want me to grab what?
No, you're good. I don't think we need to copy anything. If you just pop over to Commerce7, we'll show you where, and you are there. Perfect. Yep. So developer personalizations, that piece of code, that homepage would go there, and then they would match that with that specific line of HTML code. Again, we're not designers, but then they would take that line of code, right? And that's how they're going to basically add that on your website after the placement's been determined. And then they'll style the block and they'll do all that fun stuff.
Exactly. So once that's done, then
Brittany, sorry to stop you. We actually have a question in the Q&A, and I think these are kind of cool ones to touch on as we go. So Rita's asking, what about small wineries who don't have a developer but do it yourself? I mean, truthfully, you can. However, it's going to depend on your own knowledge of this type of, coding and you accessing your own CMS. And those links are accessible. As Brittany showed you, it's in the personalizations documentation. You're able to go in there and find that line of code. I would strongly advise you to consider working with somebody. We have recommended designer partners that we can suggest. They would give you a quote, I'm sure, and let you know what it would take. But if you are doing it yourself, the only thing is, I truthfully want to say this, the investment that you're going to put up front is going to pay off. And I know that there is a fear of paying and, having it not be worthwhile. I understand that. We hear that from a support perspective, but I truthfully think working with somebody who has experience doing this, they can style it beautifully. They can make it look great. You're going to have a better experience, I think, for your customers. So you can access those documentation articles. They're available for you. I just want to be completely open with you that it would probably be best to work with one of our design partners if you don't have your own designer to set it up for you.
Yep.
Anything to add there, Britt? I just wanted to really
Nope.
stress that, because that is, you know, like you showed them, right? That's the line of code. But past that, we at the support side cannot help you with that, right? So we would recommend a design partner at
Yeah,
that point.
I mean, you definitely want it to look pretty. You want it to be
Mhm.
branded. Like I'm going to show you mine that I'm showing you today. It's for the homepage.
Mhm.
And it is because that is something that I believe that everyone, I think
Yeah.
that it is pre-filled with homepage. So let me just head in there and I can show you guys. So from the dashboard, we're going into marketing and we're going into personalizations. So here I am, homepage. And I have created a few here, again, to go on that, based on that customer buying journey. And so the first one that I just want to, well, I'll go through actually all of them briefly, and then we'll go through it on the front end so you can see kind of what it looks like from a customer perspective.
Sounds great.
So,
Britt, before we do that
yeah.
quickly, we have another
Yes.
one from Ken. He's saying how much space is needed for the block. So I know you've mentioned before the block can go on the homepage, it can go on a footer, any other spots that you're, I mean, at least examples we can give in terms of space. Again, I feel like this is going to really depend on how the designer
The
is
designer, yeah.
placing that, right? But I would say like you would want enough space to truthfully display like either a product collection or the club shipment. So I can't speak on the specs of what they would want to size that at, but it would be something to display either like a product collection. That would depend how many items are in the collection, right? So there's different factors. So again, we really want to be transparent here. It would be best to ask the designer like how much space they need to display this in an aesthetically pleasing way that is a good experience when you're shopping from the website and also from mobile, right? So just wanted to touch on that as well.
Yeah, totally, totally. So I'm going to actually start down here with the anonymous one, because that's the first one here. So I'm going to click into edit and just show you kind of the lay of the land here. So first we have anonymous. That's what I titled it. You can title it whatever you'd like. It is internal facing only. You decide what the type is. So it can be based on general content, which is just going to be, you know, verbiage, images, etc. It can be a product collection. And in this case, that's what I'm choosing for anonymous. I'm choosing my wines collection. And in fact, let me show you what this looks like. If I get rid of that and I choose collection, then you can choose from all of your collections and choose the correct one there. So wines. Sort order comes into play if the customer who is visiting falls into more than one, is eligible to view more than one of these personalizations. Let's say it's their birthday and they're a club member. Well, only one's going to show. So which one do you want to take precedent? So the lower the number, the higher the priority. So in this case, you know, anonymous person, I'm just leaving it at 1 right now. Down here is where you can enter your content. And, you know, we have a WYSIWYG here to, you know, bold, italicize, the various headings, et cetera, et cetera. And this is going to display above, if you have a collection displaying, it's going to show above that collection. And then down here, we have the conditions. So 1 or more conditions. You're, I'm sure, very familiar with conditions throughout Commerce7. This works very similarly. So you can base your audience or the people that are eligible to see this based on customer birthday, lifetime value, their last order date, club membership, or tag. So lots of ways to define who that audience is going to be. You can also, the condition is going to be equal to or not equal to. And in this case, it's anonymous. But again, you can do subscriber, first-time customer. Again, that's someone who has purchased 1 time. A repeat customer has purchased 2 or more times. You have your never purchased. So these are people that are logged in but have never purchased. We have club members, of course. Anonymous, this is someone who's not logged in, so you don't know who this person is. They're just coming to your site. And then everyone, if you want everyone to see the same homepage, you can do that as well. In this case, anonymous. And we're going to go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. So we're going to look at, let's head over. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go here. Move our faces. Okay, you'll see I'm not logged in. I am anonymous. I am on the home page. So what do I see? There it is. Welcome to the fam. You're new. Where should you start? Are you interested in some of our staff picks? Well, if so, let's go ahead and purchase some. So I'm going to hop back into Commerce7 for a moment to show you just the other blocks that I've created, and then we'll go through the actual process of what it looks like for each of these different types of customers.
Perfect.
So anonymous, the next step on that journey or that ladder is going to be our first time customer. So let's click into, because hopefully if everything went well, I sold to that anonymous person and they created a an account and now they're a customer, right? So let's look at this one.
Rick, can I add one thing there?
Yes, please.
By default, when you order, you're technically added to the CRM, right? Like hopefully, like you mentioned, they create the account, they get the email, and then they do finish creating the account. We use a persistent cookie-based login, right? So once they're logged in, now the next time they visit the site, they're going to be presented with this, ideally with them having finished the account creation and then being logged into the device. Just wanted to throw that in there as well.
Exactly, exactly. So we have a customer has purchased one time. That's how I titled it, just so internally I remember exactly what this is. I'm going to do a product collection this time. And the collection I'm going to use is the recommended for you. So basically, it's going to take whatever that person purchased the first time, and it's going to offer up in the collection similar things, because the idea is, oh, they like that, or they purchased it before. Let's offer that up again. Maybe they'll like something that's similar. So recommended for you. Sort order. Again, you determine what's going to be best for you. If I purchased one time, but I'm also a club member, you need to decide which one you want to take precedent. Just it's completely up to you. Down here again, I have, hey, welcome back. We're happy to see you again. My goodness, if you make another purchase right now, you'll be able to enjoy 20% off, free shipping, free tasting on us. You know, you're trying to really lure them in to make that second purchase. And then down here, customer equal to first time customer. Also, all of these terms, because as you can see, even I got confused in my presentation. But if you're like, wait, what's a first time customer? Is that someone that hasn't purchased? All the glossary terms, there's a glossary of terms in the personalizations overview. So you can always go back there and take a look at that if you need to, just so you know. All right, so that one.
Rick,
Yes,
can we go back in there quickly? I just want to touch on one more thing, because I love the power of how really custom you can get with this too. If you scroll down there, I'm a big dynamic tag fan. So I love a dynamic tag, love a query. So if you click on applies to, under that guide, the one or more conditions. You can also have it be all conditions. If you look at the items where we have customer, I know we're going to look at other examples. I just really want to stress that you can either include specific types of tag groups, base it on LTV, and also then use the is equal to and change that to is not equal to as well, right? So there's really so many different configurations that are possible with who you're wanting this content to display for. So just wanted to touch on that again. You're going to continue along with the journey, so I didn't mean to interrupt, but just wanted to show
no, that's great. Thank you.
All of those, of course.
Never apologize. You're just adding to the conversation. It's good.
Perfect.
Okay, so just do this guy again, save that option. So we're going to head back over in here. Go ahead and purchase. So now, again, we're here. We've never been here before. It's an anonymous person. We're going to go ahead and purchase. How about we'll purchase some of this. And we are going to proceed. And let's do, and continue to delivery. We'll do my daughter's name. All right. Address 21. Continue. And let's do this guy. Whoops. Review. And we're going to place our order. Great. And I'm also going to create that account because I'm prompted to do so. So I'm going to do that real quick. Awesome. Just go activate that email real quick. Oops. There we go. Okay. That is activated. Okay. So here we are. I'm activated. Hello, Zoe. First order, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's say that I log out of Zoe and I'm coming back to the home page. And now, voila, I see welcome back. So happy to see you again. We are really wanting you to come in. We're wanting you to join the club, et cetera, et cetera. So that is a different way to greet someone who is coming in again. And let's see what happens when we, whoops, join a club. We're going to go ahead and join the Winemaker Select. Actually, you know what? I'm just trying to think here. Because I do want to show what it would look like if I am a club member coming into here. Perhaps.
Well, I guess should we continue with the joining the club and see from there what our personalization comes up next as?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, we'll do that.
Because again, like just to kind of add on, right, there's so many different ways you can customize this depending on who you're, so it's really almost, I don't want to say it's kind of tricky for us to demo it, but without it being like you have a real customer base, right? So you're going to have a lot more maybe conditions that are relevant or just a larger base of customers. So you might be using tags. So she's going to show you really just one customer journey, right? But there's so many ways.
Exactly.
Now you're the club member.
Now I'm a club member and now I have logged out, logged back in, and now you'll see welcome back. So don't forget, gosh, you are a club member. And as a club member, you're invited to come and see this for free. Our summer concert series. Come enjoy it with us. And then below, of course, we have your upcoming shipment. Make sure that you review it and make any changes that you want to, because you have up until this date to do so. And a lot of folks, yeah, I mean, I added this stuff up here. You could potentially just have this. So it's just really in their face when they log in that this is where they go to make their changes. But it's also nice to let them know kind of, you know, the cool stuff that they get to do as a club member, because they're special.
Exactly. And like, even if we wanted to talk, thinking about when you have those product collections as the condition for these blocks, right? The power is really within what are you putting in that collection? What item do you want to display, right? Like Brittany showed you the example of using that recommended collection, which is such a cool feature. But truthfully, if you had like, say, a specific bundle that was only available to an allocation group, right? You could maybe just show that bundled product of some limited edition. You know, there's so many ways that you can get creative with these. But truly, like it's kind of like the options are, I don't want to say endless, but it's quite a lot. Yeah. Pretty endless, right? Depending on how creative you want to get.
There's a lot going on. And then the final one that I just wanted to show is the birthday one, which is kind of fun. And so Yeah, this one I made general content. I mean, you could certainly include, I guess, you know, a product collection below it if you would like. But in this case, I just wanted to let them know that, hey, we know it's your birthday. It's awesome. And because it's your birthday, this is what you get. And then down here, we see the conditions, birthday is, and you can base it either on the month or the specific day. So I just did this month. And if we log in as log in, I do believe that my main, see what that looks like. We're going to log out of here and we're going to log in as myself. And I do believe if I go to the home page, oh, no, shoot. Oh, you know what? I probably don't have my display order the way, see, this is a good.
It's great, right? Because then, and I wanted to say, like, kind of on that note, right? If you are, once you get these implemented and you have done the designer portion, right? Our support team is happy to help you with how the blocks are showing up in terms of conditions, right? So please reach out to support, chat in with us. We can always set up a screen share. Definitely the designer stuff, you've got to get that kind of piece done first. But with these conditions, and like Brittany was saying, sort order, we're always happy to help you with these. This is definitely a support related question.
So sort order on that guy, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my club member two, and then we'll save that guy. And I think then it will show the way that I want it to. Let's see, we don't want to be in with Zoe anymore. Oh, did I lose my, here, we'll do this again. There we go. Let's see. Yay, it's my birthday. So yeah, so there you go. It's my birthday. And now I feel really special because you remembered it was my birthday, and I'm going to go buy some wine because I get 25% off. So in this case, I did, again, just the text, but certainly you can add, you know, whatever collection down here. Maybe you have a special birthday collection for people, whatever it might be. You could display that dynamically down below using the personalizations.
Awesome.
That is what I have. What else, Robert? What are some of the other, like, those are like the basics as far as, you know, taking that customer journey, that buying journey, and building your personalizations based on that is fantastic and super effective. But like you've been talking about, there's so many ways to use these.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just going to respond to Jake. I just want to let you know, Jake, we'll take your question offline. He has a question about personalized collections displaying products like all products. I'm going to just take that question offline, Jake. I'm going to have you privately provide your email. Bear with me a moment here. Just one second, Britt, and we'll just continue the discussion in just a moment here.
While you're looking there, let me show you guys where you will go to find the documentation. So if you head into support, the knowledge base, and then just literally personalizations. And so we have all kinds of things here, the overview, and then we have the designer portion, which that's what they'll be looking at. And then we have the personalization templates that we've talked about today. So you can go specifically to those to build those. But in the overview, it'll tell you everything. And these are all anchor links. So for instance, if you wanted to learn, well, what are they and why are they important? You can click on that, and then there will be a video there with my lovely face explaining all of the stuff that we talked about today and more. And again, other videos here as well for each of these steps. So feel free to take advantage of those. I just revamped them in the last 24 hours. So everything is up to date and ready to go.
Looking great, Brett. So Ken from K&M, he's saying, do you have any examples of encouraging anonymous customers to log in if they have an account? A lot of our customers haven't created an account to place an order, and they need to be reminded to do this. So yeah, I mean, and again, like me and Brittany were just touching on, there's so many ways you could really accomplish different things. So what I would like to show, Brett, go back to your personalization block for anonymous for a moment.
For anonymous, okay.
And if we like looked at homepage and then we look at anonymous under edit, really in theory, you could change the type right here instead of product collection. You could have it be general content. I mean, again, like how you want to, the verbiage you'd want to use, Ken, I guess, if you click general content there, Brett, just for a moment, we can discard after. You could, in theory, right, like include content specific to like, hey, if you've never created an account, please click this link here to go to our reset password page, right? Like however you feel comfortable to approach that, but you could, in theory, display that content for an anonymous visitor to the website, right? Just kind of have that little reminder and maybe with a hyperlink to the forgot password page, which would then send them their password link. If they've ever again made a purchase, if they have an email in your system is the big thing. They're in your CRM, sending that reset password email will allow them to get back into their account. Awesome. And then Jake, awesome. I'm going to follow up with you offline. Perfect. Okay. You're welcome, Ken. Awesome. So I'm just going to wait a few moments on questions, Britt, but I think that was awesome. I think it's really, again, what we really were hoping to do today, at least, was to demystify a little bit, right? The big undertaking that it seems to feel like to get this done, but truthfully, once you get that in place, it's the power is kind of in your hands, right? On how you want to personalize that journey.
Yeah, again, I can't stress enough that you engage with the designer like one time. It's not like you're constantly having to go back to them and have them do other stuff or update things. I mean, it's like you have them do it one time. It places that block wherever you have defined where you want that to be placed, whether it be the homepage or the clubs page or the footer, wherever you want that block to be, it's created for you. And then you go in here and then you're able to just change it according to whatever messaging you want to edit.
Britt, we have a question from Natasha, and she's saying she's a little lost on the collections to show related products. So could you do me a favor and go into store collections?
Yep.
So what Brittany's showing you, so in Commerce7, we have 3 different types of product collections. We have a manual collection. You're adding those items to the collection manually. We have a dynamic collection, which if the products meet the conditions of that set collection, they're going to be dynamically added in. And then of course, to display on the website, they would need to have an available web status. But the third type of product collection, and Brittany, if you want to click into it, is a personal collection. So we'll click into her recommended for you. And then from here, right, you're able to, if you scroll down a little bit, so you know what, actually,
can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
You can. Okay. Yeah. My internet just had a glitch there. So I kind of missed what you were talking about. Sorry. Where would you like me to be?
Toggle type from manual.
Okay. Yes. And then dynamic.
To personal. Well, we can show dynamic as well. Happy to do that with the personal one. Let's start with dynamic, actually. So manual is exactly in the name. You make the collection and then you're going in and actually adding which specific products, which again, that might accomplish something for a personalization. If you have an event and you only wanted one event ticket to show up as the option to purchase, right? You don't maybe want every event ticket product to be displayed. You would want that one event ticket with the add to cart button. You're just showing it in one collection. So manual serves the purpose here. Dynamic, Britt, if you scroll down here.
Yep.
Then you're setting those conditions, either all of the below or one or more, where the item types you have like wine type. You can, if we toggle the wine type, you have all of these different dynamic collection items that you can use to pull in specific products automatically. And then the third collection type is that personal collection. So let's go on up and show what a personal collection would look like. So from here, you can set a maximum number of products to return. Do you want it to be 1? Do you want it to be 10? How many product recommendations? So that might be something, Jake, I'm going to check just to kind of give you some context. We'll look at different things. Of course, there might be other factors, but it would be dependent on the config here. And then really, it's going to recommend those products based on the order history, right? Is how the algorithm would work there.
Yep.
Hopefully that helps, Natasha. Let me know if you have any more questions on that one. She says, gracias. You're very welcome. And again, I really want to stress any questions you guys have after that designer piece is done. Our support team is happy to help you with this. We really want to get more users using personalizations. Like this is such a powerful tool, such a relevant tool in the modern e-commerce space in general, not just the wine space, but we really like from our data book last year, but I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, right? It's just something that is so valuable, so powerful.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. Well, again, I mean, it's funny. I started thinking about like the Spotify and the Amazon and the Netflix. It's like it's everywhere, and there's no reason why. And it's so effective, and we all love it so much. I mean, let's bring it into our space. Let's embrace it. It's not hard to do. And you'll see the payoff. You will see.
Brittany, I want to say, like, from a winery, like from somebody who's, I mean, I don't know the business side of the winery, but I know being a consumer and visiting the wineries, and I love that experience when you go to the winery. So it makes sense to continue that experience online, right? It makes sense. Like, it's just truthfully, you're just kind of extending your brand and you're presenting yourself in a way that is, relevant to who you're talking to online.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't see any more questions just yet.
All righty. We can give it about 30 more seconds, a minute, and see if anybody has any questions, and then we'll continue on with our Fridays.
Absolutely.
I don't know if any of you are going to be at the Sovos Ship Compliant event next week, but Robert and I will both be there. So be sure to stop by the Commerce7 booth, if so. We would love to
say hi. Absolutely. Have a fabulous Friday, everybody. I see them dropping out, Britt, so I think we're good.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.